Hello everybody, Siamese here, and today we're going to be talking about a $500 Ryzen 3 PC build for anybody who wants to jump into PC gaming or just a light productivity PC. This will work great for you. Before we get the build started, I just want to note a few things. Is that first, this is not technically a $500 build. It is a little over. It's $517. Sorry for the tiny amount of clickbait. But it is Ryzen, it is all that jazz, and it will game 1080p, 60 FPS in the majority of titles you throw at it, like Black Ops 3, Battlefield 1. I don't know if it'll reach 60 FPS in Battlefield 1, but it'll definitely be a super fun experience in Battlefield 1. And other games like that, like PUBG. PUBG isn't super optimized right now, but you should be able to get at least consistent frames in the 40 to 50 range with this build, possibly even more. So what we're going to be talking about today is a Ryzen 3 build, like I prefaced before. And before we get started about that, I just want you guys to know that you should go down in the description below, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it, rate it, all that jazz. Comment down below what you want to see in the future, and if this PC build, if you have anything wrong with it, or if you have any tweaks to make it cheaper or maybe a better value, go ahead and comment them down below. I love that sort of feedback. So to get started, as I said, again, man, I'm all over this Ryzen 3. We are going to be using the Ryzen 3 1200 quad core. It's a $110 CPU. Great budget CPU for light gaming or medium gaming. 1080p, like I said, 60 FPS. And the reason I went with a Ryzen rather than something like the G4560 is I believe that having a quad core processor, while the G4560 may be a better value, I'm not sure if it is for just gaming. What you can do with the quad core is you can do light productivity, light editing, anything. So light stuff in Photoshop and Sony Vegas. This will be great for any light editing like that. So yeah, we're going to be using the Ryzen 3 1200 quad core, and the motherboard we're going to pair with that quad core is the AB350M from ASRock, the micro ATX board. It's a really great board. It's a micro ATX form factor. It is the B350 chipset, so will allow overclocking on our 1200. It does have USB 3, SATA 6 GB, all this super basic stuff. It's got 2 DIMM slots for RAM and then a single PCIe 16X slot. So that is the motherboard we'll be using. It is the, like I said before, the AB350M micro ATX board. It's plenty for what we need for this budget build. And the RAM we are going to be putting in those DIMM slots that I mentioned before. It's a little bit of a, it's not as common, I don't know. It's the Patriot Viper Elite 8 gig kit. It's a 2x4 kit. It means there's 2 DIMMs, both 4 GB, and it is actually DDR4 3000 megahertz. So it's pretty fast for how cheap it is. It's only $60. And because this isn't as known and it's a little cheaper for what it is, I might change it in the part list down below. We'll have to see if it's reliable and if it has good reviews and all that. But for now in the video, we're gonna stick with it just because it's cheap and you get 8 GB. If you have another 40-50 bucks to spare, go with a 16 GB kit. It's totally worth it. 8 GB is becoming the minimum nowadays. So you really need 8 GB for almost anything. If you have 16 GB, that just gives you that little bit of wiggle room. Also to mention, if you're sticking with this motherboard and you're going for a 16 GB kit, you need to get two 8 GB sticks or a single 16 gig stick. You can't get a 4x4 kit because it doesn't have 4 DIMMs. All right, and moving on to the storage, we have the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB, the most common hard drive out there. I think it's a great value. I feel like a lot of you people kind of saw this coming. The Western Digital, the 1 TB. It's just a 1 TB drive is really all you need. The only bad thing about this drive is that because it is a hard drive, it doesn't have the speed or the quietness, I guess. The drives are loud, or it doesn't have the speed of an SSD. And so if you are willing to have a 240 gig or a 520 gig SSD for double and a half, like 150 bucks to go with an SSD, but in this budget an SSD really isn't part of the we can't fit it into the budget. There is if you are willing to spend another 30 bucks, you can get the Fire Kudo 1 TB hybrid drive, and what that is, it's an SSD and a hard drive all in the same. So it has a faster speed than a hard drive, but it also has the cheapness of a hard drive, so it's a good balance if you're willing to spend another 30 bucks. But for this build, we're just going to stick with the Caviar Blue. And for the video card, this is probably the best budget video card out there right now. A lot of you saw this one coming as well. It is the GTX 1050 Ti. We're getting a 4 gig card. It's the MSI GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. Single fan design. It's just a great all-around card. It'll do anything that you throw at it, 1080p, at least 45 FPS, if not 60 at medium settings. And it really is a great budget card. So right now the GPU prices are a little high. The one that I've got in the part picker list is actually $145. So if you want to wait or buy a used card even, or if you want to wait until the GPU prices kind of go back down to what they are, that'll save you another 20 bucks or so. But for now, we're just going to stick with it. The case we are going to be using is the Corsair Spec 02 ATX mid-tower case. This is a great $60 case. It's fantastic. It does have a Gamma look, admitted, but it has plenty of ventilation. It's got a side panel, or a windowed side panel. It's got USB 3. It's a really good budget case. And in my opinion, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It has tons of space for your storage, your motherboard, your graphics card. It is truly a really fantastic case, and so we'll be using that today in the for the build. And for the power supply, we're going to be using the Cooler Master Master Watt Light Full Range 500 Watt 80 Plus certified ATX power supply. Yes, I read it off the part list, but it's a 500 watts power supply, which to be honest is kind of overkill for this build. You could really get away with a 450, maybe a 400 watt. But because this is only a $40 CPU or a $40 power supply, and it is 80 plus certified, I figured you might as well go for it, give you a little wiggle room, maybe upgrade to a Ryzen 5 or a 1060 3GB later down the line would be a good upgrade pass. So that's why I went with a 500 watt power supply rather than a 450 or 400 watt. And that covers it. This is just the tower build, guys. This does not include any peripherals, any headphones, anything like that. No monitor. No desk, obviously. This is just the tower itself. If you want me to do a full build guide, like a desk, peripherals, monitor, keyboard, everything, comment down below and tell me if you want to see that, and leave a like and all that. But yeah, that's the build, guys. It's a great budget build. $517.76 on the part picker list, and if you are willing to mail in rebate, I'm sure you can save 10-20 bucks. But that'll be all today, guys. Leave a like down below if you liked the build. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave me a comment if there's anything that you think I should change about the build, add to it, or if I should make other budget-oriented builds. Yeah, that'll be all, guys. Thanks. See you later.